have author Shay Davis here, and she's going to tell us a little bit about herself.
Hey, how y'all doing? Okay, so I am an author, newly published author. I released my first book in July of 2020, and I've been writing like forever, all my life, even in high school, and I kept falling off from it, starting and stopping and starting and stopping. And I think 2017, I was like, I'm gonna go for it. And so I released my first book. Before that, I'm full-time paralegal, full-time mom, full-time wife. So the writing was just kind of a hustle on the side, up late nights, trying to get in any word counts that I can once the kids was asleep. So it's just a brief overview.
And how many books have you wrote?
So far, I have 6 books, and I produce and publish 1 audiobook.
Okay. And are you self-published?
For the audiobook, and so I have 2 pen names. I have Eva Cherie, which is my erotic pen name, and then Shay Davis is just me personally, solo, and that's under a publisher. I do have the freedom to release solo if I want to. My contract does give me that freedom, but all of the books under Shay Davis so far has been released under K Renee Presents.
Okay. And the book that has everybody going crazy on our page is The Marriage Contract. So tell us about that book.
So The Marriage Contract, it was supposed to be a Valentine's Day novella. So I was like, I want to do something different. And so the main character, she's super laid back and just real conservative, don't do anything. She's 25, got herself together, but she feels like she's not living life. So she goes to celebrate her 25th birthday, which also happens to fall around Valentine's Day in Vegas. And drunken nights, lead to crazy thing. What happened in Vegas stays in Vegas, all that crazy goodness. And so she wakes up married. And the twist is she wakes up married to a professional MLB player.
Okay.
So that's a whole whirlwind in itself. And he's trying to clean up his image. So he needs someone to help him not look like the playboy, male thought for the tabloids. And he's having trouble getting re-signed for his contract. So when they wake up and the dust settles, he's like, this could be mutually beneficial. Like, I can pay you and you can help me. And they go from there.
Okay. And this is a standalone, right?
This is a standalone, yes.
Okay. And tell us about your first book, baby.
My first book, baby, is Stay a Little Longer. And that is Blake and Serena. And I love them so much because so much of that book, when I started writing it, was just like from personal experiences that I exaggerated, because it was like, I wanted to write what I felt and what was real to me. And it came so easily to just kind of exaggerate real life stories. So it's about a couple who meet in a bar, but it's an instant connection and attraction. And then they're both separately on these career driven paths. One is trying to be a lawyer. The other one is in engineering. So they weren't really looking to fall in love. And then they fell in love, but one moves literally across countries to California. And so it's just like a, tug of war on how to balance love, career, and if that's even what they wanted to do, because it was just all career. So, and a lot of it was so personal, like how I met my husband. We actually lived long distance for 2 years. And so it was like a lot of that story was just such an exaggeration on actually my real life.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Yeah, and that's a 2-part series. It's Stay a Little Longer and then Stay Forever is the first book.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Stay Forever is the last book. I'm sorry.
And what are you working on right now?
So I just turned in, so I'm working on 2 things. I just turned in Just Want to Be Loved 2. So Just Want to Be Loved is another one of my babies, and the main characters are introduced in Stay a Little Longer and Stay Forever. They my little drama toxic babies. Their relationship is so toxic. And the main character, Kira, she has a really toxic relationship with her mother. So I'm working on I just turned in the finale of that story, and everybody loves Hanif. Hanif is like book bae to everybody, and they're like, oh, Hanif's mine. I have a group on Facebook, the Shea Butter Lounge, and they literally be in there fighting over like, no, that's my bae. And I'm like, we can all share book baes, y'all. So I just turned in that finale. And then I'm also working on a solo project under my erotic pen name, Eva Cherie. So hopefully I can have that done by the end of April. And possibly get that also in audio production.
Oh, nice. And tell everyone where they can purchase your books.
All of my books can be purchased on Amazon, but also all of the links to my books, you don't have to go search Amazon, and everything can be found on my website at shaydavispens.com. Make it super easy. You don't have to go search each single book. You can have everything right there at your fingertips on shaydavispens.com.
Okay. And out of all of your characters, do you have a favorite?
Yeah, so and it changes though. It changes like with the win. Currently, I can say that one of my favorite characters is Kennedy Glory, and it's from my erotic novella Held in Contempt. She's an attorney and I work in the legal field, so it's just like, I was easily able to adapt her story and pen her story. But like, she was like fierce and just, I got it. And so it was just, I was like, I wish like if I had gone and stayed on the track to go to law school, I was like, I probably would have been like Kennedy. And so like, she's like my little boo. I think she's like in what I pictured for myself had I continued on my legal journey and not stopped at being a paralegal.
Okay. I see how you write, sis. I peep it already. And how long does it usually take you to finish writing a book?
It depends. So Held in Contempt, I finished in 6 days. I wrote that novella in 6 days. I literally had a thought. I have the most random thoughts and story ideas. I was in the shower and I'm like, I want a book to start with objection. And that's all. And I'm like rushing to hurry up and finish, and like so I can make notes in my phone, like while I'm like halfway drying. It was a mess. Like, this is how my brain works. And so I'm like, yeah, I want a book that just starts with objection, and that's the first line in the book. And I wrote that book in 6 days. Wow. Now, my first 2 babies took a little longer. It took about 3 months or so. Excuse me, sorry. It took about 3 months or so, I think, to finish those. And Kira and Hanif and Just Want to Be Loved, the finale, I think it took me about 5 months because it was so toxic. So I think it depends on the easiness of the characters. The Marriage Contract took me about 5 weeks to write. Just Want to Be Loved took a little longer to write. And because while my story isn't as emotional as Kira's, I kind of felt all of the energy that she was feeling just be from my own personal dealings with growing up and childhood traumas and things like that. So I had to literally step away some days. Like, I can't deal with you today. Like, this is too draining. Writing this story right now is just too draining. So yeah.
Have you experienced writer's block?
I have. So I actually, when I wrote Stay Forever, I just was stuck and I took a break from it. And I went and wrote Held in Contempt though. Like, so I had writer block from one story, but then another story popped in my head. So I guess right now, I think I'm so excited about the beginning that like all of these ideas just keep coming out of every direction.
Yes, keep going.
Thank you.
And tell everyone where they can find you on social media.
So I can be found at author Shay Davis on Facebook and Instagram. And then Shay Davis Pens on Twitter. And then I do have the butterfly. My Facebook group is the butterfly, the Shay Butter Lounge, and I call them my butterflies. But again, you can go to shaydavispens.com, and under my contact information, the links to all of my social media platforms can be found.
Okay. And is there anything else that you would like to tell us about your books?
So they're a little nasty. Like, so just because I like penning real stories and real characters, but it's a part of me that just loves penning steamy, sexy romance. So if that's not your lane, just be warned before you dive in. And if it is your lane, you in the right spot.
Well, thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having me. This was so much fun. Thank you.
Yes, it was. All right, everyone. That was author Shay Davis telling us about her books. Make sure you go out and purchase a copy. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our videos below.